Hello, welcome everyone. We have our good relative Leon here with us again to address some request for response from one of the guys in our network. So here's Shonda reading those said messages so that we can go ahead and respond to him in that way. All right, go ahead, take it, Shonda.
All right, thanks, Sue. And thanks, Uncle Leon, for joining us again. So he said that he had an accident. The last guy, we talked about him prior to. Uncle Leon spoke to him on certain things, and that's in another recording. So we're just going to jump into the response that he gave from Uncle Leon's last recording. So he had an accident, and he said, before this accident, I had already been having some medical issues. I found out I have diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, also a nerve pain, diabetic neuropathy. So I already been in severe pain every day. And then the accident, I was in the hospital for like a month and a half. Then they did surgery on my leg, accidentally cut an artery. I lost half the blood in my body within a few seconds. Then a week later, they did the first surgery on my wrist. At the hospital, they didn't send me home. They sent me to a rehab center to help with occupational and physical therapy. I was there for 2 weeks, then I went home. A week after being home, I caught COVID. So I went through that for 2 weeks. Then I went away with a rod in my hand, came out like it poked its own hole through my skin. A week after that, I had to have another hand surgery to get some rods out of my hand. But I have rods and plates that will stay in my hand forever. I have a long rod and screws that will stay in my leg forever. My shoulder on my good side is messed up. They say probably from using the walker. So that hurts like crazy. So I can't lay on my left side. I can't lay on my right side because that's the side I had all my surgery on. I'm in constant pain all day, every day. I still walk with a limp. Hand can barely move. Diabetics now come in, my back pain. So pain-wise, I suffer every day. And it's hard on me because I have kids and I have stepkids and I have nieces and I have nephews and I'm very active in their life. And it's a lot I can't do with them. I tried to take them to a haunted house and I couldn't even make it through because the pain to my legs. So I stopped and I went to the car and I had to force them to finish without me. And that just tore me up, especially with my niece. She would rather not do nothing and just sit with me and make sure I'm okay. And I just feel like I'm a burden and holding everyone back. I couldn't walk to the shower on my own or even wipe my own ass. And you don't even know how hard that is coming from somebody that's independent as I am. Then with my brother, I love him like crazy, but he's locked up and we all know he's grown and way older than me and he made his own choices. So I didn't think about it when he told me he needed protection in this crazy world nowadays. So I understood why he would want it. So I got him the gun and his girlfriend ended up telling on him and he got caught with it and in trouble. And yeah, he did ask me for it and he made his own mistakes, but maybe if I wouldn't have had it, he wouldn't still be locked up. The gun was clean and everything, but still, my daughter isn't close to me. Like I want her mother used to use her against me. So that messed up a lot of my family lives so far away. I feel alone. My first case I've ever caught, I never did nothing wrong. The police set me up. I wouldn't lie to you. All my other legal troubles are 100% on me. But my first case ever was them putting something on me. I'm in a messed up love triangle. I suffer from depression and all kind of stuff that might not be part of what I think of right now, but I'll give you a little insight to what's going on with me. It'll give you a little insight to what's going on with me and why. So he's dealing with children from different women. Some of them don't know the children exist as he's in a relationship and he's just trying to figure out what do he do.
Can I say something?
Of course, you can say everything. I'm gonna mute myself.
This young man, he's a person that I would like to look in his face and talk to him because first of all, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take away the diabetes, the blood pressure, and cholesterol. I say that because cholesterol, he can control. I would tell him, I don't want to hear about your cholesterol. I would have to be real raw with him. I don't want to hear about your cholesterol, okay? The blood pressure, I don't want to hear about it. I know what it is. I know what it takes to bring it down. Healthy eating, we're going to start there, okay? Which will take him to a healthy mindset, which will take him to the reduction of his pain, all right? Diabetes, I know people that have reversed diabetes within the last month. Just a month ago, they changed their diet, okay? I'm not mad with this young man, but I would be stern and talk and say, look, are you going through physical therapy, all these rods and pins and walkers and stuff, bro? He hasn't mentioned physical therapy. So he's skipping something, okay? Probably smoking weed, I don't know. These legal cases, I don't know. Taking on other people's problems, his family, these cases he's gotten, you know, all this stuff. Tell me one thing positive, bro, that you are trying, not doing. What are you trying to do? Because you know, like I know in the Navy, we get people coming at us, well, I got this, and this. What have you done to make anything better? I've had so many men and women come to me and say, hey, Master Chief, dumping stuff on me like he dumped on you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not upset, I'm just deciphering it. And I go, so what have you done to help yourself? Well, exactly. So when you come in here tomorrow or 3 days from tomorrow, I want you to give me a detailed plan, not an explanation, because you've been explaining all your negative stuff to me. I want you to give me a detailed plan of what you plan to do to move forward. And then guess what? Just like that, it changes. They start to change. A lot of people will come to you, me, Susan, with a lot of things until you start asking them, have you done this, this, and this? Have you done your own homework? Then you know what they'll do? They'll do 2 things. They'll do 3 things. First thing, they'll go, nah. And then they'll disappear and come back later on and apologize, or they'll disappear and never come back. I'm ready for all of that because I wrote down some of the things you said: diabetes, blood pressures, cholesterol. I asked the question, has he gone through physical rehab, physical therapy? He has too many people with drama in his life. Can you tell us something good? Then he talked about depression. Then he talked about a love triangle. No, my man, no, that you should be in either a wheelchair or in a grave with all of this stuff you told us, because it's impossible to function in life with all these things going on. He's trying with his kids, his nephews and nieces. I get it. Haunted house. He went to the car and had them go, you know, tell me something positive. Let's grow from there, my man. Let's grow from there, because when a person, I tell you this, when a person texts a lot of that stuff to you like he did, I get it. I'm like you all. I have a bleeding heart for people. I do. I love people. But when they text me stuff like that, I get that often, Sandra. I get that a lot. And then I'll say, I'll cut it down, I'll decipher it, then I start asking them the real questions, because they haven't been asked those real questions. Have you started therapy? These are people that are saying, you know, I'm doing this, doing that. Have you started therapy? No. Why not? Then they start backpedaling. Do you smoke weed? Yeah, I get high every day. You know what? I'm not gonna talk to you anymore until you stop. You don't need weed. If anybody needs weed, guess what? I need some damn weed. I don't use weed. I don't smoke weed, right? People are talking about CBD oil. I get it. It helps out with the pain. I don't use that as an alternate method to make myself feel better. I make myself feel better by having positive thoughts, by trying to rewire my brain, by getting up, going to walk, to jog. I drink more tea now with no sugar, a little bit of honey. Okay, I got a whole body meal plan that I drink twice a day. I cut down a lot of things. I cut out a lot of people. But people don't want to do that. They want to hear you, okay, hey, look, I'm gonna bring you $500 or whatever, or apply for your disability to go from 80% to 100%. So you can go from $1,700 to $3,000. Well, how long will that take? So a lot of times the root cause of people's problem is money and being lazy. I'm not saying that's him at all. But when people come to me with diabetes, I've been around diabetes all my life. It's been in my family all my life that we've been functioning. When people say high blood pressure, you black, bro. That just happens. When they say cholesterol, you black. Just like Latinos and Latinas, they got the same stuff, but people are making it through life. I don't want to hear those things from him. I would rather see him face to face and say, look, man, because the things I'll say to him, it's not intentional to hurt him, but it's to emotionally disturb him. And he won't like it. I will never curse. I'm not gonna put him down, but I'm like, come on, bro, we trying to help you. Sandra has her page. We're willing to talk to people for an hour. We giving something to you. And Susan is helping out, doing her part. We giving something to you, my man. Give us something back. Help us help you. I know that was a lot though.
No, that is healthy masculine energy. That's what that is. And there were some things that you said in that conversation that was hard to digest, that was hard to hear, but necessary. I got a medical marijuana card. I do take medical marijuana, but right. I wanted to explain the difference because I know what you're saying. You're saying just taking it just to zunk out of your head.
Yeah.
That ain't what it's for. That ain't what it's for. It was created to help align you and get you back. If you're feeling a little, it was to get you where if you haven't, if this is how you're supposed to be, and you're dealing with depression and you're down here, it's just supposed to get you back to where you are. It's where if you're dealing with anxiety and you up here, it's just supposed to get you back. But if you're just taking it and you're here and it's doing this.
Yeah,
that ain't it. That ain't it. That's not what it's for. And so, Susie is probably going to chime in on the medicine, or maybe not, because you took it so good. But because she is big on the same natural, holistic, and I'm in agreement too. I joke and say a lot of stuff, but Susie has definitely changed my eating habits. She got me out here speaking to my water child and this working child, and all of this stuff. So, and it's funny that not funny, but not how funny, but ironic. Because earlier before we recorded, I was just telling Susie and Leon, and I was driving up. I did a recording with my daughter, and I'm still trying to figure out how to post it. And you would have thought that literally what I said in that recording was, but it wasn't. This was too totally that Leon didn't know I did that recording, and I didn't know he was going to say what he just said. But it's exactly what was said this morning for me in the drive. So this ain't just for this young man. This is for you too, who's watching this, who's listening to this. Stop playing with yourself, okay? Now, Leon, young man on the video, Leon just gave you an open access to him. Now, you can choose to take it or leave it. I'm not going to force nothing else. It ain't too many people that he allowed that to. That's a blessing. If I was you, I would take it. I would take finally from a Black man that been there to help me get there. It would behoove you not to take it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I didn't know that was the direction you were going to take with it, but it's a very obvious to us first step who have healed our physical selves through just doing normal people things. I did just want to talk about how the resistance to it exists and the arguments against people like us advocating for like nutrition and holistic medicine, because sure, there are food deserts. Yes, there are people who can't afford and don't have as much access. We're not saying that you need to go on some bougie vegan organic nonsense, but to really acknowledge what's going into your body. And so what I've noticed with this, and how really to what you said, Leon, that people don't want to like make these changes. So when people, and as women, when people talk to us about our mental health stuff, right, we're very we listen and we're very empathetic. And when I, it's almost like we're addicted to even just like that, again, the victimhood, or like that identity that we attach to feeling bad and all these things going wrong. Because then whenever I talk about, and it's simple things, it doesn't have to be expensive or expensive at all, just drinking water and how you drink water and just being mindful in general, all of that is practically free, and it helps so much. And so it helps you lose weight, like all of those baseline things. And those are the things that immediately people are like, wow, like it changed my life waking up every morning and drinking water. And so people think that your mental health and your physical health are separate things, but they're not. Like your body is your mind, is your spirit. So not taking care of yourself in this supposed separate way, of course it affects you in those ways as well. And especially for women, and then you could say people of color in general, because there are stresses on us that people in the majority don't necessarily have, or at least in the same way. So it can just be that extra mile for us. But yeah, whenever I talk about it. And I've even, it's just amazing the difference that you'll see once you start to make even small changes that you're able to make. So do the research, read up on whatever you think is best for you, and ask somebody that you try, and people like us who have done that and put that in practice, so that a lot of the things that had been plaguing us were like, oh, that's not an issue anymore. I know that if I eat junk, I'm gonna feel bad. So like you can't even figure out what is a mental health issue if you're so bogged down by the poisons that you're putting into your body. And not just with these relationships, with like taking weed just to clock out for a few years, but yeah. So whenever I bring this up to people and they're like, oh no, I'm not going to do that, it's like, okay, well then don't come to me as like a sounding board to complain then, because I know that I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I literally don't feel the 99.9% of what I've been feeling for like the past couple decades, because I've learned this and made these again, and I'm not loaded, very doable stuff. And it comes really naturally once you realign your perspective. It's stuff that you'll have a new addiction to, like taking care of yourself, once you see the benefits of it, if that's what you really want. We definitely do have this, unfortunately, again, like attachment to the identity of someone who is down and out, but a lot of that too is like programming. So I don't want to talk anymore. That's all I have to say for
You literally just said it. I just wrote it down, actually, because Leon said something along the lines of, and I do want to say that this writer actually is not a veteran and has no affiliation with the military. But you're right. But obviously dealing with these effects probably does have something to do with some sort of program, and also financially, like Leon said, that can kind of help later. So I just wanted to clear the air and let this person and everybody know, like, I am totally disabled. Like I'm disabled. I qualify for all those benefits as a disabled person. And every day, my life is a fight. Every day, I have to make a conscious decision how to mitigate my mental health, how to mitigate my emotional health, and how to mitigate my physical health every single day. That's my life. Before I do anything else, and as I'm doing things, if I feel off in any of those, I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to re-engage with myself first. And I think that one of the programming, and one of the things that we have in programming is this fear of what healing even looks like, because this is something that we've never experienced before. And then the other concern of once we do heal, then what? Well, then what is your purpose? When you actually can go out and do without worried about no pain physically, no pain mentally, no pain. I cannot wait until that day comes for me. I live with the expectation that eventually I will reach that day where I don't have to fight my mind and my body. I expect that miracle to come. In the meantime, I continue to do my work leading up to the miracle, because I'm gonna speak from the Bible. Faith without works is dead. And so I still do my work as I wait for that to come, which includes the truth, which includes working on my mental health, which includes me learning what to eat, which includes when people bring drama to me. I can't take people's drama. I can't handle it. Not that I'm being funny about your business, but I can't. It hurts me. It hurts me too much. And I wonder if he's an empath almost, honestly, because he's worried about so many other people, and he really has not once said him. Everything's been everybody else. And when you start taking on everybody else's issues, that also affects you physically, on top of mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but physically too. And so you have to realize what you can take and have love and boundaries. But like I said, I'm just saying it from a woman's perspective, but I'm not a man. And so Uncle Leon, what he's telling you is the steps to take as a man. And so I have to ride with Uncle Leon 1,000% because I had to do it. Even the stuff that he said, I'm like, shit, I have to do it too. So I don't know, Uncle Leon, you got anything else?
One thing maybe he doesn't want to disclose it, but he has to disclose it to you or somebody. Where are these injuries coming from? Was it a car accident that he could have gotten paid for? Was it a car accident? And I'm not, don't get me wrong when I say this.
It wasn't a car accident. It wasn't a car accident. It was just a freak accident. That was just him on his own. He was running the race. Ain't nobody you could sue. Ain't nobody you could get money from. This is a bad situation that happened and broke a lot of stuff. And yeah, if that's the question.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah. So what's his plan? I'm willing to help the dude. I have a lot going on right now. I can never tell people no, straight up no, because I owe a debt to society. I'm okay with that. But he hasn't said anything about a plan. I'm okay with the medical, medicinals, medical marijuana, whatever he's got to do. But brother, what? Give me a plan. First of all, I can give you a plan, but I need you to give me A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. That type of plan. Because if I write down a plan and you accept it, that means you're halfway in. You should write down a plan and tell me what your plan is, and then I can add to it. I'm not going to do it for you. But yeah, I'm willing to talk to my man. I don't want to text. I don't want a phone call. I want to look him eye to eye, not to intimidate him, nothing like that. No, I just want to see, and talk to him, because when you told me the things you said about him before, I said, obviously he seemed like a really good person. He's a good dude. He's trying. He loves kids. He want to make things better. But
Yeah, I think that was, yeah. I mean, Uncle Leon being Uncle Leon again. That was dope. Thank you for that. I don't really have anything else to add to that, honestly. I'm on some old in my own life, usually we don't record when we're not 100%. And I'm actually just learning that I'm going through that thing of learning that even my close friends turn family, that I already knew that I unintentionally hurt them. So I was ready to have the conversation about the pain. But now I'm actually having these conversations and I'm like, damn, I'm so sorry. It was all unintentional. But when you really pay attention to the pain that you do to people who you love, it still hits you kind of hard. So maybe that's something y'all need to hear out there too, that even though it's hard and even though you didn't mean it, and even though it's not intentional, do not gaslight people when they're telling you their pain. Listen to them. Find out what their love language is so you can love them appropriately. I've been loving people inappropriately a long time and not really paying attention to what they need, but was focused on what my needs were because I was such an unhealed vessel. And I'm still healing, like I'm still in that journey, but just listen to people. One other tool that I had to learn, because Susie, she's so sweet and adorable. She records this, so you only see the person talking when it posts. But if you actually know, like I'm a mover, I'm a shaker, I do things, I move, I talk. When I'm listening to everything, but I definitely got the signals and the signs for the ADHD and the ADD. And so, but that really affects a lot of people. And so even things that you're doing that you're unaware of, you got to pay attention to. Like I would talk, I'm big on, I mute myself because I'm a talker backer. You probably wouldn't notice because I'm muted, but if it showed all 3 screens, you would see me just talking with Leon, talking with Susie talk, because I process as I talk. I think as I talk. And what I have to realize is even though that works for me, it doesn't work for many. And so I have to learn to explain that to people. So if it becomes offensive, then I say, okay, well, I got to take notes. I got to do something to meet us halfway. Now I can't just shut it all the way down and something got to happen to meet us halfway so we both feel seen, heard, understood, and loved. Because is that really what I want? That's the end goal of this conversation. It should be, especially when it's somebody who I do love. So, yeah, like I just think that as we're getting ready to enter this year, let's leave behind this religion bullshit, okay? Okay, yeah. That 1% bullshit lie, because you know, they might have gave you 99% truth, but that 1%, and you knew that 1% never felt right to you. Drop it. Okay. Okay. Then let's go ahead and let's drink some water. We're gonna drink some water. Yes, we are. We're gonna drink some water, okay? And we're gonna eat some green leafy vegetables. We ain't even gonna cook them. You know you can eat greens raw. Did you know that? Oh, you better find out, child. Okay. So you're gonna eat some green leafy vegetables. You know what you're gonna eat? You're gonna eat some fruit. Oh, yeah, you don't need that cake. Baby, you can eat some fruit, child. That fruit is so tasty and sweet and juicy. Yes, it is, honey. That's what you're gonna do. Okay. And you're gonna put that damn alcohol down. You don't need to be, I'm cool with you having a drink or two, but if you out your damn mind and you don't know if you coming or going, you got a problem. Okay. You're gonna stop it. You're gonna stop it. We love you so much that sometimes we gotta give you tough love because that's what we had to give ourselves first. Okay. You're gonna stop it. Okay. And then these small manipulative lies. Oh, you're my husband. I feel it. Shut your ass up and go heal yourself, girl. You ain't feel shit. You felt the damn spirit that you ain't had no business in. Oh, you my wife. I feel it. Shut your ass up and go heal them damn generational traumas over there too. Okay? We're gonna stop this. We're gonna stop being at war with each other. 2022, we ain't got time for this no more. Okay? You see Uncle Leon tired of your shit? Okay? He love you, but he needs you to get it together. I need you to get it together. Sue needs you to get it together. Because see, listen, when we get like this, it ain't that we mad at you. It's that we know what you can have, but you won't listen. And you don't want to see it. So what do you want us to do? Because we can't sit in that shit with you forever. Because we couldn't even sit in our own shit forever. So what you want us to do with yours? Do you want the help or not?
And so maybe you could reframe it as saying, oh, this is wrong with me. I have all these problems, especially with physical, like illnesses or pains. It's really a signal that your body is giving you. There's a message being communicated through your body that something's off. So if you make changes to your diet and exercise at all and drinking water, getting fresh air, sunlight, whatever, and we need more sunlight than people with less melanin. And so that's why winter seasonal. So right, those things. And then the thing is, because like I'm all about listening to your body, but if your body's completely numbed out or not the way it's designed to function, then you can't trust it, right? And then we can't trust ourselves mentally, and then with trauma that is compounded. But right, so then being able to be aware of how you're presenting yourself and these conversations you said you had with your close friends, that's great. But then also like they have a responsibility too. Like if something's bothering us or we don't understand why someone's acting the way, like we can bring it up to them, especially if you're close. But so all of these things are connected, right? So it's not like, why is he talking about diabetes and why is she telling me to pick up an apple? Yeah, so once you start to see all these things, you realize how like they're not separated. Nothing is separated. That's the myth, right? But we're intentionally, like they make a lot of money off of us not being aware of these things. So we're conditioned to take on these negative ideologies so that we will stay sick, so that we will, buy these prescription drugs or whatever. So thanks. I wasn't expecting Leon bringing that up, but thank you, because that's really important.
Can you
And
tell me what you were expecting? Because you said that twice now, and I'm really interested in
what
I don't know.
Yeah, I know the wonders that taking care of your physical self does for mental health. It literally is mental health. But I thought it was just going to be more of the typical conversation that we have. So maybe that's an opportunity for me to be more consistent about bringing this stuff intentionally into our conversations. So maybe like, some pointers every couple of recordings.
I understand what Susan is saying because, and we can't be typical. What I said was, it's just like, I write notes down. When you talk to me, when y'all talk to me, I write down, I pay attention to these things, and I'm looking at these things, and it's instant for me because I've led for so long. I've led people for so long. I've heard I tell people, the injuries, the incidents are the same. The only thing that changes are the people. That's why I'm so well versed in these things, because all these things that's happening now to people, I've dealt with all my life. It could be PTSD, being molested, raped, divorce, infidelity, drugs, mental issues, anger issues, verbal abuse, all of that for 32 years. So no, I understand what you're saying, Susan. I took it on a different path because mental health, a lot of times people want to just sit there and soak in their misery, and you don't have. Mental health, I get it, it's real. PTSD, I get it, it's real. But a lot of people want answers, and then you give them the answers, then they want another answer from somebody else, and from somebody else, and from somebody else. But then it comes to, what do you really want? I just need $1,500. I'm not saying at all. I'm just saying the root cause of a lot of people's problems is because they're either unemployed, don't have an income, and as soon as you get them some way to get some type of money, they're happy. It may not be to even buy food or marijuana. It may just be to pay a bill that's bothering them. It may just be to help out with daycare. It may just be able to, I want to buy my daughter some shoes, and man, I feel good. I bought all these shoes. I've been telling my daughter no for months. So mental health, it's not always your childhood. It's just because it's something that you don't have or that you need and you can't get, and now you're depressed or angry. So that's why I took it that way, because like diabetes, cholesterol, depression, it's not that it's basic things, but those things happen to a lot of people. And I don't spend a lot of time talking about it because I want to get through it, because I've gotten through all of those things except diabetes. Yeah. I have friends and family members that had diabetes and their A1C is reduced because they started eating right.
Yeah.
So I don't spend a lot of time on those topics. Diabetes, we can talk about mental health all the time, all day long. I don't spend a lot of topics on cholesterol, being overweight. This is what you need to do just to get your weight down. This is what you need to do to get your cholesterol down. And I keep it simple. That's all I have. I got another meeting coming up. But yeah, that's all. I understand what you're saying, Susan. I'm with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, no, and I think it's good that you're presenting that information, because another thing is our belief systems that we think, oh, I'm bound to be depressed. I'm bound to get this illness because my parents or everybody in my family had it. That's not true. Like, that's one of the, things that they pull on us to make us think, when really we do have control of our health, at least a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Great. So with respect to your time then, I think we're going to wrap up. Shonda said she's going to be back in a minute, but if nothing else from you, then we can go ahead and
okay. Thank you, Susan.
All right. Thanks so much, Leon. Thanks, Shonda, when you see this. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Thanks again.